Runaway robot. Welcome to DieFall Episode 8. Where we last left off, 3 of our heroes were still in the city of Erdrick, handling various activities, errands, bar runs, selling some things, buying things, and trying to do some research. They've been informed that by killing all of the opal daggers that were lawfully located there, they've become the indentured servants of Earl Reist, one of the High Lords of Erdrick. The original call was that they only had a day, and the next day they would basically be at his disposal. This is to try to handle the situation where they've slaughtered the men of one of the ladies of Erdrick, so one of the higher houses in the city. Vathan, however, upon arriving to Duke Erdrick's home, you were essentially escorted away by one of the house guards out of the Duke's house, the estate there, and taken to kind of an off the beaten trail in the upper circle, an inn.
Okay.
You don't really know what was happening. You've just been asked to attend this, whatever it is. So you are now walking your way towards this inn with a rather young-looking House Erdrick guard.
Okay.
So that's what you're doing currently.
Okay. I'll ask him where we're going.
He looks over his shoulder at you as he's keeping a very brisk pace. He says, "Well, you've been requested to attend a meeting with Commander Belfis of the Sparrows. He said you would know who he is."
Okay. Do I know who he is?
Belfis was the guy that you met. Well, you've known him for much longer than anyone else. He's the commander of the Sparrows. You met them all at Sparrows Crossing. He, kind of staved off the invasion.
I remember.
So you guys could escape. But apparently he's here in Erdrick, and he has requested your attendance somewhere.
Okay. Okay, I'll follow in that case. I'll trust in him.
Yeah. So this young house guard leads you to an inn. It's rather nice, and the upper circle of Erdrick is definitely the richer part of the city. And he leads you inside, opens the door, and gives you a slight bow, and then turns and leaves. When you walk in, you see that it's empty. It's kind of you're coming into the evening, which is right when this inn should probably be getting the most business of the day. After various, but it's empty. There is a lone bartender scrubbing at the bar, and there are 4 gentlemen seated around a table talking to each other. You notice one immediately is Commander Belfis. He's got his kind of rugged, grizzled beard with a little salt and peppering, dark, short hair, wearing his ranger's clothes. So he's much more utilitarian than his normal commander attire that you would have seen him in Sparrows Crossing.
Okay.
And then there's 3 other men seated with him. And as you enter, Belfis looks up and says, "Ah, there's the boy. Now get over here, grab yourself a seat, and we'll talk."
Okay, I'll tell him it's good to see him, and then I'll pull up a chair.
Cool. So he kind of scoots over a little bit and shoves one of his guys out of the way. You notice that they're all wearing the sparrow pin, the one that clips their cloaks together. You don't recognize any of them, having worked with the Sparrows before, so that's a little bit odd. But there's quite a lot of these rangers roaming around in the north, so it's not too out of the ordinary. You see one has a falconer's glove on, and he has a rather large hawk seated on his arm. They're all carrying longbows and long swords. They're pretty uniform, as they are a military contingent from the capital of the country that you're in.
Okay.
But they all sit down, and Belfis kind of, as you sit next to him, he kind of claps you on the shoulder and says, "It's good to see you made it out alive. I had my worries, but when my boys saw you and your men, your companions, walk into the city, I knew I needed to talk to you."
Yeah, we have you to thank for that. So how can I help?
Well, it was I would say my pleasure, but we lost a lot of good men and a lot of innocent lives. Sparrow's Crossing is still under the control of those grayskins that ended up attacking us that night. But I came across something that I thought might interest you, and with us being so short-handed, could kind of use your eyes.
Okay.
That you're here, would you mind going on a little reconnaissance with the sparrows again?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so he nods and he smiles and he kind of like gestures to the boys like, see, he would do it. And so he looks, he says, you remember that day you told me about all those years ago? About that orc, that shaman?
Yeah.
And what he did? Seems he's still kicking around. Seems he's got a stake in all this too. Thought that might interest you a little bit. Not here, but he's here in the north. And he's working with the so-called, I might as well call him the king of the north now, king in the spine. They're working together. It's pretty much all of them. From what I can make out from my scouts, every orc tribe in the spine has started working together, and this is not good for the likes of us.
Okay,
so,
what information have you got on his whereabouts?
It seems he leaves a trail. He has orcs that are strictly loyal to him, and after some convincing, they, talk. A little less than your general run-of-the-mill orc. They seem to be more fanatical about him rather than trying to save their own skin.
Almost like a cult kind of thing, then I'm taking it.
It's similar to some of the cult aspects, yes, which has us slightly concerned, especially since it looks like he's thrown his staff in with the king of the spine. I think he was the one that was there the day Sparrow's Crossing fell. I don't know any other orc that could manage conjuring fire.
Okay, all right. I need to find him. So where can I start to look for him?
Well, that's what we're trying to do. We don't know much. We know he's here.
Okay.
And he's alive. Not sure how, and we know he has followers now. So what we're trying to do is follow some of his boys home and see where it goes.
Okay. I'll put my hand on his shoulder and I'll just tell him he can, to leave it to me.
Well, boy, we're coming with you.
Right.
I ain't got much else to do here, but this is important. We have to remove the support of this shaman from the King of the Spine. It has to be done. This is not a one-man job. We're not going to be able to kill him today. We may need an army to go into wherever he's staying, but we're going to try to find where that is. So you, me, and these three bastards, and he kind of grins at it, we're going to go find him.
Okay.
And they kind of nod around the table, and he says, okay.
Okay. Okay, yeah, no, I'll agree with that. I'll say, when do we leave?
He says, first light. But we're getting out of town tonight. So, hopefully you have your bag still packed. He looks at your backpack and your, like, travel-worn and bloody clothes, and, like, you're still fresh off the road. You have not had any downtime yet. He essentially, basically, he's assuming you're ready.
Okay. Yeah, okay, I'll be ready at first light.
Well, he just said you're leaving the city tonight, but you start your quote-unquote mission the next day.
Okay, all right, that's fine.
So they all get up. He says, all right, let's head out then. And he stands up, pushes his chair in, and motions to his boys, and tosses a gold at the innkeeper over there and says, thanks for keeping it empty for us, Jock. And then they leave. Barkeep nods. And you guys, essentially, you head out some back roads out of the city.
Okay. Just because I wasn't there, do the guys know where I've gone yet?
So, if you haven't watched the last episode, they know that you left. They have zero idea where you are, and no one has asked. So
I mentioned,
you guys.
Hey,
oh,
no,
you all mentioned it. You all mentioned it, but you didn't ask anyone.
I'll ask
I said I specifically remember saying if the elf doesn't show up by tomorrow morning, we should probably try and find out where he is.
Okay,
he didn't show up. You had stuff to do, and you forgot, I guess. Day's not over yet, though. We're just getting Vathan caught up. Okay.
I'll go to the innkeeper, and I'll just ask if you can. Would he be able to pass a message on to my friends? In fact, if I use Ignis's name as well, so would you be able to get a message to Ignis for me?
They are the Duke or his son.
His son.
No, I can do that. What's up?
Okay, if you just let him know that I'll be, I believe him, but I'll be in touch soon.
I suppose I could do that, yeah.
Okay, I'll throw him a coin just to make sure that he follows that through.
He smiles at the coin, nods at you, and says, "Now I'll really make sure."
Okay, that's fine. Then I'll go back to the commander.
Sure. So he's at the door, and he's like, "You ready, son?"
Yep,
Calling you son, even though you're like 1,000 years older than him. It's fine.
Yep, I'm ready. I'm ready when you are.
Okay, so he walks out and he looks at everyone. He looks at you and goes, "All right, boys, hoods up, quick and quiet. Let the bird go. We're going to try to get out of here without getting noticed. I've also seen some prying eyes in the city. It's not safe here any longer anyway." So he throws his hood up. The bird takes to the sky, and the rest of the boys put their hoods up, and they start trotting down the road.
Okay, I'll just follow.
Okay. So making your way through back streets and stuff like that, you come to one of the essentially side gates, manned by some of the golden eagles that are like in some armor. So you make your way down the middle level. You make from the top level out, and then the middle level of Erdrick, and then the bottom level of Erdrick. So you make your way through the slums, and then out one of the gates on the side. Belphus basically just tossing coins at every one of the guards, so they don't ask names and don't stop them. He basically just throws his hood back, tosses a coin back, throws it up, and they keep going. And now you're outside of the city.
Okay.
The city itself sprawls on for a little bit more after the walls, but you're soon enough at your jogging pace. You're soon enough outside of the city proper in general. You notice now that you are heading east, and then heading. Belphus, as he leads, turns north and starts heading kind of northeasterly towards the mountains behind or north of Erdrick.
Okay.
The run goes for some time. It's dark now, and eventually, maybe after an hour or two of kind of a brisk walk to jogging pace that you guys have maintained, Belphus calls a halt, and you guys you set up camp. His guys are well trained. They set up camp quickly.
Yep.
And there's not really much else for you to do at this point.
Okay.
But I would like you to make a perception check for me, please.
There we go.
13. So you hear some of the night birds that live in the mountains in some of these trees, and it's pretty bright now for a nighttime. But you don't pick up on anything untoward or anything that's approaching you. It seems pretty quiet.
Okay.
Belphus he quietly sets up what the watch order is. He asks you if you want a turn at watch, but it's not necessary.
Yeah, I'll tell him I'll sit this one out.
Okay. And he nods and he says, "All right then, we'll take the watches." And so they set up the watch. Belphus takes first, and the other dudes kind of they bed down near the small fire that they had made. And essentially the night passes. So what do you do?
Okay. Well, at first light, then I'll go back to the commander.
Sure.
And I'll just ask him, have we got a destination or are we following a trail?
He looks back at the man with the falconer arm piece, the one with the hawk.
Yep.
He says, "Yeah, we got a trail. It's easier to follow them in the daytime. Hawks don't see so well at night. But, yeah, we've got a trail. Some of the, cultists, I think. So we're going to try to tail them, see if we can't follow them back to their master."
Okay. I guess we've all eaten at this point now, because...
Yeah, we're essentially, we're brisking by that. They're not cooking, they're eating rations.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Trying to save some time.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, I'll stick with the pack till we hit something.
Sure. So he heads off pretty much directly north. Every once in a while, he softly calls back while it's a brisk pace. You guys are like going from jogging to like walking a little bit, but like over the hours, you're covering some serious ground through these mountains. So every once in a while, he calls back and he says, "What does the bird see?" And then you'll pause for a moment, and then one of the soldier behind you that has the falconer arm will like his eyes will roll back into his head, and then he'll come out as if in a trance, and then he says, the first time he's asked, he says, "There's nothing yet." And then the second time he's asked, he says, "I think I see a group. Northeast of here still. We're heading the right direction, but we may need to pick up the pace."
Okay.
And so Belfast goes, "Well, then, we heard him. Let's go." You guys start, you're moving. Eventually, the one with the hawk kind of like, he motions for everyone to stop. He says, wait. And his eyes roll back. And he's there longer than he has been before. And he comes back out, and he looks around and he says, "Yeah, that's them. The pockmarked ones. I think we found a group. They're still going northeast, but I think we just need to tail them."
Okay.
And Belfast, he says, "About half a dozen. It's not a very large group, but they're not with any other tribes. So either they're split off or they're going to find someone. But maybe we can force them to go home." And he looks over at Belfast. And Belfast says, "About how far are we?" And he answers, "About maybe quarter mile, half a mile, not too far from here. I think we can catch them pretty easy." And so Belfast nods and he says, "All right then, quick and quiet. As we get closer, we gotta stealth them." And so you guys trot ahead. And at this point, I want you to make me a stealth roll, please.
Okay. Should be my thing. Damn it.
Wow, with a +6 too. So maybe your boot finds a stick or a rock or something like that, and you stumble and trip. Maybe Belfast catches you or something and says, "Boy, I'm gonna be quieter than that." And then he kind of like slows everyone down. And then he stops and he listens. "We're close. Wait here." And he proceeds ahead alone. And after about 5 to 10 minutes, he comes back, trots up, and he says, "We're real close. I think we might be able to catch them off guard. But I'm not sure that we actually want to kill them. We just want them to go home. Maybe we just kill a couple and they'll run back to their dad."
Okay. I think if we fired, I'll suggest that we fire arrows into the back of them. Can drive them the way that they're going. And then
he looks at you approvingly, says, yeah, I think we have to be the stick to the carrot." And he unhinges his bow and strings it up, and he motions for his boys to do the same. And he says, "Follow me, quick and quiet." And so one more stealth check for me.
I'm not going to call it this time.
Yeah, right. Okay, excellent. So you all crest a rise. Kind of there's some trees, but like you kind of crest over some of this mountain terrain. And down below you can see 6 orcs. They seem to be taking a kind of like a midday rest. So they're gnawing on some form of meat, kind of arguing with each other. And make a perception check for me as well.
Okay.
Excellent. Yeah, you can see that they're clearly scarred. It looks like very similar to what Ignas's acid does to skin. And it's like melted and scarred, but it looks it wasn't enough to kill them, obviously, and it wasn't enough to like make the skin fall off, but it's definitely like pitting on their bodies, and like large portions of their skin seem burned in a ritualistic manner. They don't wear most of them aren't wearing armor. They have bare chests, and it's just this marking all over their bodies that you can see.
The marking, is that like painted on, or is that like an acid scar as well?
No, it's all burns. It's
Right,
all
okay.
scarring. Yeah. So they're proudly displaying their scars, from what you can tell. Which some orc tribes do. This one just happens to be one that utilizes some form of burning agent to cause the scarring.
Okay.
So you're
to
there
myself for now, but that could be something to do with magic potentially.
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
So Belfast making some quiet hand signs that you would recognize from having worked with the sparrows pretty a lot before, essentially defending the wooded area around Sparrows Crossing. They would ask for your help. He essentially motions for each of you to take aim at a certain orc, and then he looses his arrow.
Okay.
Do you fire?
Yeah, I'm going to take the shot then.
So you are hidden. They have not noticed you or the group. So take your longbow shot with advantage.
Nice. Okay, it's this one, isn't it? Oh, thank God.
26 will definitely hit. So what I want you to do is roll the damage. 12. Okay, and you now have a new ability that affects this.
Ooh, let's see.
Oh, is that the ambusher one?
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
Ooh.
it is. Oh, right, okay. Please
Ooh,
come out. Increases 10 feet.
wow. I was just reading that.
If you take the attack action, you may make one additional weapon attack as that action. If that attack hits, target takes an extra 1d8.
Nice.
So while they shoot once, you have the opportunity to shoot twice.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to shoot again.
Okay, go ahead and take that shot.
I love this character. Oh, come on. That was
Yeah.
so close.
Yeah, super close. But yeah, it definitely hits. So go ahead and roll damage again, plus another d8.
Plus another D8.
Yeah, so the ability,
Yep.
if we read it, if you take the attack action, you can make one additional weapon attack. If that attack hits, the target takes an extra d8 of the weapon damage. Or is that just, oh, they don't take the main damage? If you make one additional weapon
just
attack,
the additional D8.
just the
on top of
d8.
it.
So just roll the d8. Yeah, you hit. Just roll the d8.
Okay, is it roll slash? Hold on.
It's slash roll space
So, D8.
1d8.
1D8. Got it. So another 5. So 14.
17.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I got
It's
12.
12
Yeah,
plus
12.
plus 5. Yep. Okay, cool. 12 plus 5. Let me get this. I have everything open already. So the one that you shoot at immediately dies. Falls to the ground, gurgling, arrow protruding from his throat, another one from his shoulder, and just falls to the ground. The other 4 make their shots, and with various degrees of success and failure. Another one dies, and 2 are gravely wounded. But the orcs are now up and alert and aware. Belfast, obviously, he motions you guys down, so you're hidden behind the ridge. So go ahead and make another stealth check for me.
Oh, so that's weird. But take the first. Well,
Yeah, we'll take the first. It's fine.
I'll
It's
take
20. Yeah. They're confused. They don't know what's going on, and they're looking at each other and kind of yelling and gesturing at the one that's dead. And it seems like they're in a panic. So they start running. They're running a direction.
Perfect. So we'll try and follow them as closely as we can without being seen.
Yeah. So they get a bit of a distance away. Belfast is kind of holding everyone, and then he gets up and he starts moving, and he's motioning you guys to follow. And after you get a little bit of a distance, you can still see them, but it seems that they're running at a pace and not looking behind them. They're a little scared. Belfast stops and basically motions you guys to take another shot at your various enemies.
Sweet.
This one will also be with advantage.
Okay.
McSwiggins, are you just rolling random stuff now?
I clicked on the wrong thing. I'm sorry.
It's okay. 14 does hit. The roll damage.
Okay.
5. Then you have the opportunity to take your second attack with
Yeah, so I'll take another shot with the bow, yeah.
Yep. All of these, yeah.
Is that with advantage or without the second one?
I would say without, because they're not surprised about being hit. They've already been hit. 22. Okay, cool. So go ahead and roll that extra D8.
Oh, sorry, well, ignore that. 8. There we go. Oh, that's better anyway.
So 11 damage. So you hit one, and he starts limping and stuff like that. And another one goes down from one of the other guys, and they're full tilt now. They are running as fast as they can. The one that's hobbling that you've injured has kind of fallen to the side, and one of his companions turns around and slashes his throat, and then keeps running.
Okay, so stop him talking, obviously. Okay.
So they're running now, and Belfast motions you guys, and you guys are taking off pretty much full tilt after them. There are only 3 remaining, but Belfast is not stopping for anyone to take more shots. So as you guys are following at a pretty good distance, but just trying to keep track of them, can you make a perception check for me, please?
Well, nice.
Yeah, you when Belfast got lost and he couldn't track them anymore, you could.
Right. Okay.
And so over the course of the day, you're able to track them to this cave entrance. You follow the bloody footprints all the way up to the edge, and it seems pretty clear that this is the entrance to something much larger than a regular cave. The cave itself, though it looks like it was naturally formed, seems to have been carved out to be a larger entrance. There are torches set up to the sides of it, and there's actually paint markings, or in this case, you can't really tell from this distance. It looks like red paint across and over the cave entrance. With that perception check, you can pretty well see that what it is, but I would like you to make a religion check for me, please.
Okay, I'm making notes on this. Okay. A religion check. Oh God. Right. Okay.
9. So it's an interesting. The perception check is enough for you to commit it to memory, but you don't necessarily know what the symbolism means that's over this like cave door.
Okay.
You don't really know what it is.
But I could describe it if I needed to later on.
Correct. You could draw it. Essentially, is what you could do. So what it looks like to you is so it looks like kind of concentric circles. Well, not I wouldn't call it concentric. There's a circle, and then there's like a small one slightly off center to the top right of it that kind of overlaps it down its center. Right?
Wow.
So it's a circle, and then there's a smaller circle that like is up at the top right corner of that circle, smaller. And yeah, and then there's that's it. That's what it looks like.
Okay. All right. I'll just keep that to memory. I'll ask I'll ask him if we're going to go in. Do you know,
Belfast
are we just tracking this cave, or are we actually going inside?
Belfast looks at you and says, "No, not today, but soon. We needed to know where it was. We're going to need some more men. This might not be a job for just us.
Okay.
Maybe those companions of yours, though, could be useful."
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Okay, I'll just nod for now at that, so I don't want to make too much noise, and then I'll
Sure.
wait for him to signal us back.
Yeah, so you guys are you're heading back. The day it comes to a close, pretty uneventful. You have another night, and then you make your way back the following day. So at that point, we kind of come back to the city here, and what are you boys doing? Where did we leave you off at in the last episode? You're lost. Is that true? You're actually lost? I don't remember.
I believe that's where we left off because I was I got lost looking for the dude to sell things to.
Well, you did end up finding him, and you did sell some stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I still don't know where I am.
True. You've gotten a little turned around. Yeah, you're a little turned around. Where are you trying to head back to? The estate,
Onyx, the Onyx Black, but
the Onyx Hole. You're trying to head back to the bar. Trying to head back to the bar.
Hell yeah, man! I got a date.
The jeweled sphincter.
You got a date. Yeah, the jeweled. It might as well be, man. This is a shithole. It's literally a hole in the ground. Okay, cool. So you're trying to find your way back there. Desdin, what are you doing?
I was looking for McSwiggins.
That's right. You were trying to head down to the lower city to see if you can find him. And Ignas, what are you doing?
I'm apparently hauling around a bunch of useless treasure that we can't actually sell. I guess I'm just going to go do regular shopping.
I mean, you may not have found the right person to sell them to. Maybe a reputable shop is not the place to go.
If you hadn't lied last time,
then I go to a fence. I mess up the negotiation roll. I mess up the persuasion roll.
Yeah, but now you've got observance, so you won't see the poison darts that they try to hit you with when you inevitably fuck it up.
I mess up the dex roll, and
you
even
do.
Though I can see the poison darts, I still get hit by them and die.
You're doing a lot of predicting the future here.
Yes, I am.
Oh yeah, sorry. He picked up scrying instead.
It's interesting. So yeah, if you don't want to try to sell them, then don't. That's not my problem.
Did Joel just low key confirm that's what's gonna happen?
He hasn't told me shit about what he wants to do. So where are you going?
I wanted to at least try and get regular old supplies first.
Regular old supplies.
Yeah.
We did that, didn't we? With your arrows, we did arrows. We did rations.
How many arrows did I actually buy? I can't. Wait. Did I?
You did bolts. You did a lot.
Bolts. Okay.
You did a lot.
So I'd also like to buy, say, 100 arrows. How much would that be?
I don't know. I'd have to actually look it up because I don't know the price of that.
5E.
How many can fit per quiver? So it means it can
20.
Is it?
Right.
Oh wow, I thought it was
20.
Yeah.
As from what I've seen, it's 20. But
okay.
Let's see.
Oh wait, no, yeah, you picked up a bunch
arrows
of in your bag. I think
for 20 arrows, it's 1 gold.
There you go. So it would be 5 gold
Right.
for those arrows for 100 of them.
Let me just do a quick thing. All right. So, you know what? I'm gonna get 2 tents as well. 2-person tents.
Okay.
Good call.
Do you have that one pulled up too? How much is that?
Those are 2G each.
Okay.
So I'm down 7 gold so far.
Those are both for him. He wants a vacation house.
Yeah. Well, he has a vacation house. He doesn't necessarily need tents.
He has a travel house.
Yep.
There you go.
Well, now I have a travel house. Let's see. What else do I need? Did I get torches?
One is for him. The other one's for the 3 of us.
I don't believe you got torches.
You know what? I'm gonna spend another gold for 100 torches.
Okay.
I'm basically loading up on the basic things.
100
that
torches? Jesus.
Yes, because one of us cannot see in the dark. One of us is blind as a freaking bat. I'm just saying. Anyway,
I'm blind. I just don't have freakish eyes.
Exactly, you're blind.
I'll thank you not to make fun. Eye shame me. Don't eyeball shame me.
Okay. So I got all that. I don't even know what a reliquary is.
A what?
Reliquary.
Reliquary?
A reliquary?
Reliquary. Yes.
Almost
What
choked.
is that?
Do you have one of those?
No. What is it?
The bag. So bag of holding can hold up to 500 pounds,
Okay.
not exceeding a volume of 64 feet. Bag weighs 15 pounds regardless of contents.
Okay.
I'm just
Oh,
trying.
well, then
I'm trying to see how much all those torches weigh, all
Yeah,
those
they
arrows
weigh
weigh,
100 pounds, so maybe I want to
all
go
that,
a little bit lower
all
on
of your,
torches.
all of your stuff weighs, all of the stuff in
All
that
the
bag.
stuff currently in the bag. Yeah.
Yeah, that just occurs to me. How much
Like
do those
the
pony kegs
corpses.
weigh?
Oh, don't! I swear to God, if you drop those kegs.
They're probably 25 pounds apiece.
Yeah.
I'll
You
drink
know
'em.
what? I'm just gonna find. Okay. Just to really screw with people in the city and to lighten the load, I'm just gonna find a random alley and just drop the 2 twig blight corpses in the alley or in just a garbage can if there happens to be a garbage can.
Call.
You're going
Great
I hope no
so
one sees
okay.
you.
Where are you?
Oh, let's see him going down to the middle tier at this point. just
You're
to
in-
buy
you're
some
in the
basic
middle tier.
stuff.
Okay, you're in the middle tier. Where are you dumping these corpses?
My
Just
God.
in an alley.
You walk down an alley, and you're just
Yeah.
gonna pull corpses out of the bag and lay them there.
It
Yeah, no
always
worries.
comes back to this.
No worries. Yeah,
You don't
wait.
wanna-
What is your fascination with mutilating corpses?
Yeah, with
and
mutilated
leaving
corpses,
them?
it's so
I'm not
freaking weird.
mutilating them.
Sure,
I'm
you
not
want to stick them on the
mutilating
wall?
I'm just dumping them.
Okay, so
ignominiously in a
So-
random location in the city.
okay, so you find an alley. You walk down this alley, and you just dump them.
Sure, just pull them out of the bag, just lay them out, and then close up the bag and leave.
Okay. As you walk out of the alley,
I don't even need firewood anyway.
as you walk out of the alley, someone from behind you says, "Hi, what's all this?"
Oh,
A present. It's firewood. Keep you warm in the winter.
Looks down at it. All right. And he kind of just gathers it up and he walks back into wherever he came from. Thank you.
Local
Welcome.
Erdrick report. A corpse came to life in a local inn and slaughtered everybody inside.
Yeah. And Did you know that twig blights grow back together? And then
Please.
my God.
Do they actually?
no.
Oh, I got so excited.
But
kind of psyched for that.
but guess what? I
Yeah.
make the rules, so they
Oh,
weren't
no.
burned to death. Who knows
They
what
will
happens
be.
in 2 days?
They will be.
Who
in
knows?
winter.
They were getting crunk inside.
Who
their
knows
blanket.
what happens in 2 days?
We'll be gone
Oh,
by then,
boy.
hopefully. It's not us.
Okay. In that case, I'm gonna not get 100 torches, but I'll get 50. Yeah, just take that down anyway. I don't want to do the math. Yeah, take it down to 50 torches only. I'm going to hand you guys some of this stuff, like when we get there. Like, Vathan's going to get his arrows. The blind monk is going to get his torches.
I'm not sure Vathan can carry 100 arrows.
Well, he can
Probably
just
kinda
strap
like
5 quivers
40 or
on his back like a badass.
I look like Deadpool by the time I'm done.
That is so impractical.
Well, kind of like the action hero. You have a quiver on each arm, quiver across the chest, quiver on the back, quiver on each thigh. And then you just keep pulling arrows.
That's 6.
Yeah, that's I don't know
Probably
about
can't
that.
Walk, but yeah, I've got the quivers.
If only he had a wolf to hold all those quivers.
Poor
Unreal.
Stumpy.
I miss him.
Mm.
Oh,
Mm.
and then you know what? I will taking away the corpses. I will wander about and see if I can't find a person of reasonably ill repute here on the middle tier. Upper tier is not going to have many. Is going to deal.
You're gonna ask around to see if you can find someone.
Who's the
Just go like to a nearby inn, nice one. Say, hey, I have some materials I'd like to sell. Do you know of a decent pawn shop around here?
You walk into an inn and ask a barkeeper?
Yeah.
Or an innkeeper?
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. You walk in. You ask if you can. What's the nearest pawn shop or a reputable pawn shop? They say, well, there's a couple pawn shops here in the middle. Probably one. Actually, go to Phil's. Pretty nice guy. Down the road piece. There's a big old sign up at the front, though. It's got a little like a sewing needle on one side and an anvil underneath it. Doesn't make much sense, but ask for Phil when you get there.
All right. Thank you for your time. And I'll tip him a silver piece for his help.
He looks, anytime, my lord.
All right. I'm going to go find Phil.
You're going to go find Phil.
Uncle
Excellent.
Phil!
So you make a perception check for me.
Made me sad by saying Uncle Phil.
Actually, scratch that. Make an investigation check. You're looking for something specific.
Yeah. And investigation is a much better bonus.
13.
Much better bonus.
So you were given pretty good directions. Essentially, they're like, it's down the road on the right. You'll get to it eventually. There's a big ass sign out in the front. Doesn't make much sense. So you walk down the street and it's lined on either side with these wooden buildings. Some of them are stone, some of them are brick, some are nicer than others. But it's the middle city, so it's like having a normal town or a normal city. It's nothing too special, but hawkers shouting their wares on either sides. A couple beggars here and there. You can see some company men from the various companies throughout the city walking around. Some of them leading the constructs. Either in or out of the city or out of the ring, and you come across the pawn shop,
all right.
And you see it on the right. It takes you a little bit of time.
All right, looks good. See if he's reputable as he says. Let's go on in.
So you walk in. A little bell rings as you open the door. And you hear from the back, just a minute! I'll be out there in a minute!
I like Phil.
He's my favorite.
You're in a pawn shop. It's lined with just stuff. Various different things. The more you look around, the more it's pretty apt that the sign has a couple random things on it. Because there's literally random stuff all over the place. So, and it doesn't seem to be in any shape or form of an order. It's all very randomly placed around. There seems to be hammers over here, a sickle over there, anvil that way. But then you also have a tapestry over there, a painting over here, and then you have sewing material right there, but then there's also knitting material over there. There seems to be a stack of books on this side, and then just a stack of papers on that side. A couple scrolls rolling around on the ground. There doesn't seem to be much order here, but there are things. There are lots and lots of things.
Huh. Can I take a look around and see if there's anything that might be useful for the coming journey?
Useful? In what capacity? What are you looking for?
The magical magical item identification is like a ritual, right? It takes me 10 minutes to actually pull it off.
Let's see. You know the artificer spell detect magic and identify. You can cast them as rituals. Yes. So to do detect magic, it would take you 10 minutes and you'd have to cast it as a ritual, which means like making markings on the ground and wild hand movements and chanting and that kind of stuff.
Right. Probably.
Scare Phil.
Well, yeah, I guess I shouldn't. Well, I don't know. Let's see if he has anything in terms of equipment, weapons, armor, anything that looks particularly interesting or unique.
Interesting or unique?
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff.
Well,
roll an investigation check.
Specific to weapons and armor, let's say.
Okay. Roll an investigation check.
All right.
Nice.
Woohoo!
26. Yeah. This is kind of cool. I'm kind of happy about this.
Okay.
I'm happy Ignas got a
find-
good roll too.
Finally.
You find an interesting piece of armor.
The girdle.
It's odd. It's only the left arm of some plate mail, but it seems attached to a gauntlet. It's also very shiny metal. It's seen better days. It's definitely dented. But the oddest thing about it is that it's spiked. It has ridges and spikes all along down the side. The arm itself seems to have small protrusions of spikes. And the gauntlet itself has large, maybe 2-inch spikes coming out of each of the knuckle areas.
But it's only the left arm and hand?
Correct. It's the left side.
Interesting. All right. That's definitely a piece worth considering.
It is, out of all the things that you found weapons and armor-wise, this is A, the cleanest, B, no rust on it, and C, actually whole.
Well, sort of whole. I mean, it's only the left arm.
It seems to have straps that go across. It looks like it could be worn, just as is.
All right. Well, I mean, you know, technically it's still the left arm, but that does look interesting.
So at this point in time, you hear some small, you hear some footsteps, and then hear like a bang. Ow! I should get rid of you. And you see a gnome walk around the side, just a wild shock of just like brown hair all over the place, wide eyes with these goggles on like this, and it makes his eyes look even bigger, brown-eyed, and a pointed beard down here. And he looks at you and goes, "Yes? Welcome to Phil's. How can I help you?"
I'm here for a couple of reasons. In fact, I was here to pawn some wares, but I noticed that piece of armor you have there, and just point to the one arm thing. Looks pretty interesting. How did you come by it?
Oh, yes. Good story behind that. Long time ago, Phil was with dignitaries, and they gave Phil a gift. They were from Balara, I think. Maybe. Some other dwarf tribe. It's so long ago. They gave it to Phil as a gift.
And did Phil get the rest of it? Or is that the only part of it?
No, I don't. I lost the other part.
Ah.
Poor little guy.
It was a long. Phil looked young, but it was a long time ago. Those big old bug eyes and the goggles just staring at you.
Well, I couldn't get any use out of it myself, you understand. It looks far too big for me, but I do have a dwarf companion that might appreciate it. What would you take for it?
Dwarf. Good armor for dwarf. Came from dwarf. Your friend would like this, I think, yes?
He might. You owe me a favor.
He takes a moment to consult his ledgers. He takes a moment to consult his ledgers.
I'm gonna get my hot friend to make me armor. I don't need your stinking armor. You're my hot elf babe.
Hot elf babes is where it's at, man. That's who you want making your armor. Let's be honest here.
It'll never work. The only dwarf and elf relationship that ever worked
Is
was
Legolas,
Legolas
Gimli.
and Gimli. Yep.
I love it.
Romance forever.
That's a different universe.
This universe is whatever I want it to be. Okay. So he looks at you and he goes, 500 gold.
Whoa.
Oof. Ah.
But you trade, yes? You have fun things to trade? He looks at your pouch, noting that it's rather large and heavy, and he goes, "Ooh, I know what that is."
I'm sure you do. I do have things to trade, but I must warn you, they originally belonged to the Blood Eagles, or the Golden Eagles.
What do you mean belong?
Oh, they had them at some point, and then I had them.
Marked?
Marked.
Tough to sell marked goods in this city.
True.
We shall see. Make offer.
Let's see. Get out my calculator. I don't want to take the time to do this in my head. Oh my God, calculator. Wait. Oh no, that's calendar. Son of a bitch.
January 12th
goddamn
plus March 4th equals 2029. That doesn't
Phil
make
says,
sense.
and then Phil says, deal!
Let's see. 200. And just as a question to our DM, even the gemstones were marked?
You didn't look.
Oh, well, okay. Can I just quickly take out the gemstones and just check them out, see if they got any markings on them?
Make an investigation check.
Hey. Hang on. All right.
What gemstone did you pull out?
Just let's say, I mean, I was going to say one at random, but okay, let's say the bloodstone.
This one you're holding is not marked.
Do I have to do an investigation check for each one?
Probably.
Because that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's a lot of items here that would need checking.
Better get the rolling then.
All right.
It also takes time. Phil is just waiting on you and impatiently tapping his foot.
Can Phil help me with this?
Are you going to start handing things to Phil?
He's probably. All right. You know what? Let me just real quick again calculate all this up and then see. 600. All right. Well, yeah. I mean, I'll start taking the things out of the bag. Because
Sure,
I'm not selling everything. I'm just selling the goods that we got.
Okay.
Would be the bloodstone, moonstone, onyx, the 2 quartz, the bolts of silk, which I think we did establish were marked.
We didn't. You didn't look at them.
Oh, fine. The stone coffer, the quartz and the obsidian, and the gold bars. And
You see how the
let's
gold
see.
bars has a stamped with a golden eagle symbol on it? That's the
Yep.
one you looked at.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, fine. So yeah, those just all of the things that are of value.
Sure, you put them all out on the table, covering his already covered workspace, I
You know
guess,
what?
and or counter.
Just ask him, can we, clear a quick space? I actually have a lot of things.
Phil looks at you, he looks around and says, fine! And he just shoves everything off of the counter, and it all goes clattering to the floor. It's super fucking loud. And he just, space cleared! Place things! Make deal!
Perfect. I love you, Phil. You're like an uncle to me. Uncle Phil. Anyway, I'll just start putting
Aw.
stuff on the counter.
I don't know you!
Oh, boy. For all of this, the bloodstone, moonstone, onyx, 2 quartz, 4 bolts of silk, the gold bars, the quartz, the obsidian, the polished stone coffer, I think I calculated it up to be about 650 gold, if my math
Okay.
is right.
He starts going through the stuff. He's examining it, looking at it, evaluating what he thinks it's worth. He takes a look at the silk and he goes, no use for this, and kind of throws it back at you. He starts picking up each of the stones and looking at them. You notice that his goggles start adjusting and looking at things. And he picks some up and he smiles at a couple and he puts down some other ones. Did you say the choker as well?
Nope.
I didn't hear you, I'm sorry.
I am not putting that out.
Okay.
like
but
that.
the
I might
coffer,
keep
the
it.
coffer was there?
Copper was there, yeah. Or coffer.
He looks at it, and it's nice. He leaves that on the table and he starts putting some of these gems in there. You said the gold bars are on the table though?
Yes.
He looks at them and he picks one up and he goes, Golden Eagle. Can't offer full price for these. He puts that down. So in all, he picks up the bloodstone, the moonstone, the onyx, both the quartz and the not the blue quartz and not the obsidian. Puts those in the stone coffer. And then he looks at the gold bars. He says, "Dangerous having these. But take 2." So all in all, he took the bloodstone, the moonstone. Let me get my calculator out. Okay, bloodstone, moonstone, onyx, quartz, offer.
If that's all there, I think it's what, 3 to 475, or am I wrong?
Why is it 475? He's not taking all the gold. You just
right,
have many gold bars.
Right, you said half, so it's like 100 gold worth of gold.
Sure, I have 375 here.
We said bloodstone, onyx, or wait, bloodstone, moonstone, onyx, right? And the 2 regular quartz?
Yes.
Okay, so that's 150, 250. Oh wait, you might be right. Yeah, 350.
275, and then so it would be 375 total. Right?
Okay.
That's what this says is worth here. And he looks at you and he goes, 250.
250? What are you taking?
250. Marked goods.
What? Most of them aren't marked.
He looks at you and
You
goes,
don't have to take the marked goods.
okay. He puts the gold bars down. He takes out the bloodstone, both the quartzes and the onyx.
The quartz is bloodstone. What about the moonstone?
It's still in the box. So right now it's the box and the moonstone.
No, he's taking less. Oh, okay.
Well, that's what I said. You said you don't have to take the marked goods, so he took out all of the marked goods.
Oh, good to know that those are marked. Let's see. Marked. Good to know.
So he looks at you and then he says, 50 gold.
Yeah, there's no way to get that armor. Yeah, math doesn't add up.
You could try intimidating him.
Yeah, right. Like that's really gonna work. So wait, remind me again. Which of the only things he only took the onyx, right?
The stone coffer.
Yeah.
And the
onyx.
moonstone.
Oh, and the moonstone. Okay, that's neat. Just want to keep that straight. For 50. All right, I'll take that price.
Deal. He takes the stuff and then he throws a small pouch of gold at you.
Put that away. So that's 50 up to I'm like 400 short. I don't know.
He gave you a price.
Yeah,
You didn't even try to negotiate, so.
because I'm probably going to fail it.
That's
With
on
that
you.
attitude.
That's based on the history of rolls. All right. Fine. You know, fine. Watch. I will fail this and he will just say 500. Well, listen. I appreciate that you can't take marked goods. I understand they're difficult to sell. I am very taken with that piece of armor. Like I said, can't wear it myself, but it would make my dwarf companion owe me a favor. 500 is just too steep for me, though. Would you take 100?
100?
Well, it is only
No.
the left arm. It is only the left arm, you understand. It's not even the full armor.
Full suit of armor worth 2,500.
Yes, and that's still just an arm. I mean, if you go out into combat wearing one arm's worth of armor, you can still get stabbed.
Not my problem.
Well, it's my problem, really, because the dwarf is more or less my
Then
bodyguard.
don't buy.
I want him to owe me.
Dwarf already have full suit of armor?
Actually, he tends to go bare-chested. That would be another reason why I would want an actual full set of armor, but I'm willing to settle.
Part of armor better than no armor?
Yeah, still be better if it was the chest plate specifically, but... yeah, I can't afford any more than that. I don't know. I mean, hey, worst case scenario, we can always come back, I guess.
We good? You have deal?
Huh?
Deal done?
I guess so. I don't know what else to say.
Okay, thank you. Come again. And he takes his stuff, his newly found things, and walks in the back room and says, "Leave now!"
All right, I guess I'm heading out.
Okay. We'll take our first break here, I think, after Phil's pawn shop. Really aggressive tactic you tried with negotiating there. Really tried to talk him down super easily. We'll be back in like 3 minutes. Okay, we are back. Welcome to part 2 of this shit show. So, Ignas has completed his brief journey to Phil's pawn shop, as interesting as it was. Not able to haggle his way out of a paper bag, he does not come away with the piece of armor. So, let's catch up with Desdin. Ignas, let me know where are you headed, and then we'll catch up with Desdin.
I don't know. I'll just go back to the house, I guess.
Okay. Sure. Yeah, you head back to the house. Desdin, you're trying to find McSwiggins at the Onyx Hole, yeah?
Yep.
Okay. Can you do an investigation check? It's easy enough to find the bottom ring, but let's see if you can find the bar. So far, no. You're not having a whole lot of luck just looking around on your own. I mean, there's plenty of people on the road and stuff like that if you feel inclined to ask, but as of right now, by yourself, you're not able to find the Onyx Hole. You don't know what it looks like. You don't know what the sign looks like. You just know that that's the name of the place.
I guess I'll ask somebody.
Sure. You just you want to just stop someone on the street?
Yep, random person.
At random. How do you stop them?
I while they're walking, I put my hand in front of them and say, "Excuse me."
Okay. So there's a human gentleman, kind of dressed in the regular attire for this the regular attire. You're in the lower circle. He looks like he just is fresh out of the mine. He's got kind of like ash and stuff all over his face. It's just very dark, and his clothes look like they're stained after many uses, not much cleaning. And he looks at you and goes, "What you want, monk?"
I'm looking for the Onyx Hole.
Onyx Hole? For you? No. Holy man like you don't belong there.
I snicker or smirk a little bit, and I say, I'm looking for a friend there.
Oh, friends in low places, eh? I suppose we all have to do charity work every once in a while, eh? And he kind of claps you on the shoulder. Yeah, I know where it is. Yeah, I'll take you there. Grab a drink myself.
Thank you.
So he starts walking down the street the opposite way of where you were walking from.
I will follow him then.
And he kind of puts an arm around his shoulder and says, "How about you buy me a drink for taking you there?"
I would, but I don't have any money.
Oh, you monk types never have any cash. And he kind of gives a chuckle and shoves you off a little bit. Name's Jonathan. And he sticks out a really grubby hand.
I'll shake his hand and I'll say, Desdin.
Desdin. I haven't seen those monks' robes before. What aspect you follow?
These are not my robes. They were a gift.
A gift? Oh, mighty fine gift. And he takes a look. He's like, I actually do apologize. I just got a bunch of... He tries brushing off your back where he got, like, his soot all over this, like, actually pretty fine linen. He's like, well, I'm sorry. You might want to go get that cleaned. I might have ruined your gift, friend.
I'll say, not a problem, friend.
Much appreciated. And he bobs his head and he's like, your type don't really come down here. Don't really know how to act around you. And he's like, just round the corner here. And he walks up to what looks like an outhouse. And it's essentially that. The sign above it is just a block of wood with a hole in it. And that's it. He opens the door and he gestures down and says, welcome to the Onyx Hole, friend.
I'll give him a nod and tell him thank you. I'm gonna wait outside, though. I'm not gonna go inside.
He looks at you and he just, oh, we were getting drinks.
As I said, I don't have any money.
Ah, pishball. I'll buy you a drink. Come on. It was payday. Let's go. Need one myself.
Okay, I'll go with him.
He goes, that's the spirit. I knew I could get a monk drunk sometime. And so you guys head down the stairs there. And it is a shithole. There's like splintered benches and like the tables are all like stained. The floor is essentially just sawdust, right? To try to tamp down some of the mud from being underground. The whole thing is underground. It looks like the mortar from the stone walls that this like used to be a cellar and has now been converted into this bar is just kind of falling apart from the inside. There are two large fireplaces, though, large stone fireplaces sitting in the corners that light the whole room. It definitely takes the chill off your bones after being out in the kind of like the growing evening, kind of taking off the chill. And so he claps another hand on your back and shoves you up to the bar and says, go ask her what you want. I'll pay for it. I gotta say hi to my mates. And so he turns around and he greets a bunch of these commoners that are over at the bar. He says, "Hi!" And they all go, "Hey!" And one of them goes, "John, I didn't think you'd make it out." And he says, "Found my friend. He's a monk. Look at this. Let's get him drunk." And they're all kind of just like, they're all in on this. And they're, "A monk? Oh yeah, yeah." And he says, "Molly, around for the monk." And who you presume is Molly. She looks up from rubbing one of these glasses, not necessarily cleaning it so well, but she looks and says, she looks at you and goes, "Thanks for the monk, then."
Oh,
She's looking for you to approve because she's a little more caring than some drunk miners.
right. I mean, I don't want to make him mad, so I'll say the smallest drink you have.
She looks at you and says, "Smallest, eh? All right." And so she goes behind the bar and pulls out this bottle and just puts it on the table, brings out a small glass and just pours that in there. She says, "Might do you the whole night." And she just slides it over to you. And she looks over at Jonathan and she goes, "Jonathan, you paying for this?" And John goes, "Yeah, I got the first round." And he just tosses a copper at her. And then he says, and he looks down and he goes, "Aye, pour one for me too." And so she pulls out another cup and pours it and slides it over to him. And he goes, he looks at you and goes, "To new friends."
I'll raise it and nod and kind of examine what I'm about to drink.
He goes, "Oh, bottoms up." And he tilts it up and he kind of just, as he does his, he pushes yours up towards your mouth while you're examining it to try and get you to drink it immediately.
Okay, I do that because he did that.
Sure. I mean, it's awful. Like rubbing alcohol straight down, but you wouldn't know what that is because that doesn't exist in this world. So to you, it's just basically, it's cold and then it's just heat and it just tastes awful.
This is why I don't drink much.
And so Jonathan goes, "Aye!" And then all of his friends go, "Hey!" And then Jonathan looks around and says, "Who's buying next?" And one of the dudes at the end of the bar, and he's like, I got this one, and he tosses out like 12 coppers at Molly, and Molly's like, all of you, the lot. All right. She pulls out all these glasses and just starts and pours the shots for everyone. And then Jonathan goes, to new friends and payday. And then, gestures again, and he takes his, and all of his friends do as well. You take your second drink.
I'm gonna try to say no this time.
You say no, or you just leave it on the table?
I'm gonna tell him I would love to have another one, but I can't.
This is him like mid-drinking. He looks at us. Can't. Why not? Is it some weird religion thing, or I haven't heard any of the aspects that don't like drinking. Wouldn't go to the monastery if I couldn't.
You should just try drinking like Ned Stryker.
I don't know who that
Ted
is.
Stryker, sorry.
Still don't know who that is.
Still don't know who that is.
Oh my god, have none of you seen Airplane?
Oh, I mean, when I was like 5.
I have a drinking problem.
Ah,
Oh yeah.
I didn't know that was his name.
But then I wasted his drink. So no.
Yes, but if you
Up
do
to
a
you.
sleight of hand check,
I'll apologize and tell him I must refuse.
And he looks at you and he goes, well, don't tell him at the end of the bar. And he grabs it and takes the shot for you. He says, don't worry about it. I'm just happy you're down here. Where's your friend?
Okay, I'll look around and see if I can see McSwiggins.
Perception check, please. 16. You look around pretty quickly. You can see no McSwiggins. There's a couple dwarves here, but they all seem to be part of one of the companies. All of them are wearing an insignia that you don't necessarily recognize, but it's red in color. And then you see some other men that seemingly look like from another company. There is an elf sitting alone in the corner, hood up, kind of just leaned back in a chair. There are the commoners at the bar, and then there's a couple barmaids running around.
Okay, I don't see him. Perhaps maybe he's not here yet.
And he goes, well, you're more than welcome to stay with us until he shows. So,
Thank you, but I'm gonna wait outside. And I start to
oh,
turn
why
and
is
go
that?
outside.
Fire's here. It's nice and warm.
It would be easier for me to see him coming outside.
Says, suit yourself. Pleasure to meet you then, Desdin. Until next time.
I'll nod and say thank you and pleasure to meet you.
Okay. So you head back up outside and kind of post up on the wall there?
Sure.
Cool. McSwiggins. You're a little lost. But it's been some time. It's been some time. Can make a perception check for me. Let's see if you notice any landmarks from your Prio.
Wow.
Boy,
Jason!
you lost. Question, are you carrying your gear right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you sure?
You're real lost. Night is coming.
I nervously take a swig of my flask.
You hear from the side down this dark alley that you've walked down. He says, nice silver flask. You mind if I, take a swig?
Funny you should mention Swig. Guess what his name is?
Fresh out.
Oh, that's too bad. Do you turn around to see anything, or you just keep walking?
Keep walking.
Oh, where you going? And you hear footsteps from behind you some ways.
I stop and I turn around to get more.
Ma, I should join you then.
Sure.
How about some of my friends come too? At this point, you can easily see now 2 more step out of the shadows from the sides of the alley that you didn't necessarily see beforehand, and they step out into some lantern light that's around.
I kind of just smirk and say, "More the merrier."
Well, that's what we were thinking. Isn't that right, boys? And they kind of go, I think we might take that flask off you, dwarf.
Might you now?
And the other one says, I like that axe, though. Think I'll make it mine. Maybe cut off these calluses on my heels.
I could help you out with that.
Is that so?
I unsheath the axe and hold it.
And the first was, oh, we don't want any trouble now, do we? And he pulls out a couple daggers from his belt and kind of looks at you.
I don't know. Do we?
You can hear like a short sword being unsheathed from like one side, and then the guy that wanted your axe pulls out like a hand axe.
No trouble, huh?
You wandered into the wrong place. And you ain't got nothing to offer, apparently.
Sure don't. Just my pleasant company.
Roll initiative.
Oh,
It's
boy.
about to get dicey.
Wow.
Damn it!
I had to. I had to.
That was
You didn't have to.
that was so.
I did actually. I
I'm
did
so happy
actually
I got
have
one.
I
to.
can't believe that hasn't happened yet. I'm sorry. what
actually-
episode are we on? 8? I'm so
I
surprised.
actually had to. Yeah.
No.
8. That's where we're at here. And now I need to figure out what I'm using as these enemies. So, give me a second.
Started the fight and we're
It's
ready
about
for it.
to get dicey.
I didn't expect someone to wander away from the herd so far and so lost.
I got lost.
What is this? It says +3, 1d6 +1, slashing damage. Okay, you know what? That's actually fine. We'll make it these guys. Sure. Okay, no, that works. All right. McSwiggins, you're now in uncharted territory. I don't have a map for this, but they're real close to you anyways. So I'm gonna go ahead and put up a. Let me go to our thing here, and I'm gonna make sure that we have an initiative order that's visible to everyone. So let me go ahead and create that for you here.
Yeah,
So there's initiative order 17.
Okay, yeah.
Is that what you rolled? Yeah,
Yeah,
you did.
yep.
All right,
Yeah,
cool. So that's 17. And I need, because this will make it easier for me. Let me get these boys out here. I got to put everything in a different window. These guys. So let's do. Yep. Okay, those 3. And then hopefully this actually works. Yeah, actually, well, you can't see that shit, can you? Unfortunate. There we go. Okay. So there's the first one. There's the second one. And there is the third one. So it looks like you get to go first. Lucky you.
Ain't fucking around.
Yeah. No, this is the real deal here, huh? So you get to go first. Again, there's not really a map here for this, but we can use our mind's eye to figure out what's happening. You're in a dark alley surrounded by these 3 gentlemen. You can see that they're wearing some insignia of some company that maybe owns this portion of the lower ring. And you have first go. It seems that it's time to brawl if there ever was a time.
Are we? So you don't have a map ready? Am I using like? Is this the distance I am from them?
You're not at distance. You are within 10 feet from all of them.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry if I missed that.
No, this is just a reference. I just have the turnover up
Gotcha.
so people can see it on stream. And these are the tokens I'm using as quote unquote reference for when they make their attacks. So I can click
Gotcha.
on them and have them do their thing.
Gotcha. All
Yeah.
right.
So
well,
this is more of just a me managing this.
Who's the fellow that asked for the flat? No, who's the fellow that asked for the battle axe?
He's the one to your left.
Great. I'm gonna go for him first.
Yeah, please do. Go ahead and make an
So-
attack on him.
I'm gonna say, "Oh, you want the axe, huh?" And then I'm gonna pop a rage and go into Hulk mode.
Okay,
and,
so you Hulk out.
and
yeah,
make a
go ahead
swing,
and
make a
make your strike.
Okay, I
Make your
hear
strike.
all this going on.
Where McSwiggins is. Make a perception check.
I don't think I hit.
No, you don't hear anything. You hear the bustle of the lower ring. People walking past you on the street.
Right.
Yep. People coming home. An 8. No, you do not hit.
Sad boys.
Yeah. So now these 3 are surrounding you. And they all get to go next, right? So they're all going to make attacks on you. So there's 1,
Ooh, that's a solid hit.
there's 2,
That's another hit.
and there's 3.
That's a third
Wow.
hit.
Wow. Okay.
Those
Roll
Badman.
It,
So that's 4, that's
2.
7, and that's 6. So 17 divided by 2. So that's 8.
Eight?
You take the lower. You've taken 8 points of damage,
Wait, I'm sorry. Why 17 divided by 2?
Because the
you
total-
added it.
and then divided by 2.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay,
So they all come swinging at you, and you swung wildly on that first one, but you are roaring in your rage, and their blades come flashing down at you, and they all strike true, slashing across your recently patched fine linens, drawing some blood. You don't notice the pain though in your rage.
Oh yeah. Sorry, I'm just referencing battle rager bonus section. Okay, cool. Got it.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm gonna swing at the guy again. Same dude.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, same guy on the left. So you're still focused on him. Go ahead.
Shabam.
A 16 does hit. So go ahead and roll that damage. You reel backwards, and having
Shabam.
focused on it, you deal 13 damage and instantaneously kill him from top, like clavicle down to his stomach. He is just opened wide and just
Did I
screaming.
get the calluses?
He's just like, "Ah!" And he collapses on the ground, writhing and bleeding everywhere, dropping his blade. The other 2 are like, killed him, and they renew their attacks. You have a bonus action, I believe.
Oh, I sure do. I'm gonna punch the guy that asked for my flask.
So you swing around to back in front of you, throw your left hand wide and see if you can hit this guy.
Stabam.
Yeah, no, you hit him.
Stabam.
7 damage, and you punch him square in the mouth. Just teeth like busting open. Your thick ass dwarf bones
here comes
just
the one
bust
liner.
just bust it all open. Yeah, bust him in the mouth. Just blood. He kind of gets knocked back and he tries to reorient himself, but you clocked him a real good one. Yeah. So in that case, that one is dead. This one has taken 7 points of damage. So there's 2 remaining. Let's say it's this one that's gone. So they trying their attacks again at you. They both make their strikes here.
That hit.
1 and 2.
That did not hit.
Okay, so the first one, the one that you didn't punch in the mouth, is able to get his attack off, and he deals you 1 damage.
Solid 1.
Yeah. So you punch that dude in the mouth, and he kind of like rakes his sword, or he had a sword down your back, and it's you feel it, but it's like a pinprick compared to the rage that you feel.
Mm-hmm.
So it is now your turn again, my friend.
All right, I'm gonna turn around and swing at the guy that just struck me with his sword.
Yeah. So you spin around backwards and you swing your axe.
Stabam!
Yeah. You hit him. You definitely hit him.
Julio.
Yeah, and you deal him 11 damage, and as you swing around, you like cut straight through him, right at waist height as you come around, and you see him like slide apart, eyes wide in surprise.
And then I'd like to unarmed strike the other guy.
And carrying your momentum all the way through, you come back around to the other side. You hit him.
Boom.
And you punch him again in the mouth. This time, your fist goes all the way down his throat and gets kind of stuck there. His jaw is it's absolutely broken, right? There's no other way that went down there. And you can just see your fist in his throat. You're just looking. And you grab hold of his esophagus and you just tear it out all the way back through.
Nice.
And he collapses on the ground. A bloody mess.
I'm pretty sure that's not medically possible.
Nope. He did it, though.
Sorry, I'm the doctor on your stream, not you.
Yeah. He tore out some tonsils. Let's put it that way.
Oh, your
So these
tonsils
3 bodies
were infected.
And then
Let me just take those out for you.
These 3 bodies are around you.
And then I
Seems
just-
combat's over, but what do you do?
well, as my rage subsides, I kind of be like, "Oh, still thirsty, boys." I take another swig, and then I realize I'm out, and I'm like, "Hell is
And,
that tavern?"
You hear down the end of the alley. Everything all right down there?
Yeah, a couple guys tripped and fell.
No, don't tell me anything. Making sure you're not breaking into my home.
Nope, not your home.
Excellent. You hear a door slam.
Good night. And then I continue searching for the bar.
Sure, you walk
Oh,
out.
wait. Before I do that, I want to search their bodies, see if they have any change on them.
You're going to take the time to do it?
Yeah, just a quick little
peek?
poke around.
Sure, make an investigation check.
Doop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop. Bam.
Investigation 11. You find an apple core, 5 iron nails, some twine, a letter, and 3 gold pieces.
Ooh, I'll take the gold and I'll take the wine, please.
Oh, you're not gonna read the. Oh my god, it's probably a
say-
letter from his daughter.
Did I say wine?
Did you
I
say
thought I said-
wine?
I said there were some nails,
Uh-huh.
an apple
Twine.
core, gold, twine.
Oh,
not
I'm
a
sorry, I
twine.
didn't hear
Like
the
a
T.
string. Yeah, like a string.
Yeah, I thought that was a little weird, but I was like,
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
they've been drinking, whatever.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, I'll take the gold and I'll Oh wait, I see the letter. I'm like, huh. Then I use it to clean off the axe. Wipe off
You
the blood
crinkle
off
the
the
paper
Oh my
onto the. It doesn't go very well, and you kind of shear through the paper after a couple runs over it. It doesn't really.
Mm.
It doesn't seem absorbent either. It just kind of smears it around.
And then I kind of do one of these things where I like lower the axe, kind of wipe it off on the guy's clothes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's that's a little bit easy. It's a little more absorbent. Their cloaks kind of take some of the blood off, but it's not fully clean.
Yeah. Then I mount it on my back and I keep wandering.
Sure.
Keep
Okay.
searching around.
You exit this alley, and it looks like you're on a main thoroughfare. There's definitely more people walking back and forth. Some of them might have heard all of this, but it doesn't seem that anyone down here cares. Yeah. So make another investigation check, buddy. Find that bar.
Find it. I can usually see
You-
about
yeah.
alcohol.
You walk out and you see all these people walking around, and you look to the right, and you look to the left, and you look to the right again, and you're like, oh. To your right is the main gate that you came out of to get to the Onyx Hole. And you're like, so it's this way and to the left.
Got
and
it.
so you make your way over there.
All right, and then I'll
He's
go right in.
done did it. He's done did it.
I did it, guys. I did it, Dad. You
The
proud?
man with the plan. Okay. So McSwiggins arrives at the Onyx Hole, where Desdin is posted up on the door there. Desdin, nothing much has happened. It was all rather quick.
Do I see him?
Yeah, he's standing next to the door.
Oh, I thought he was inside. for
No,
some
he
reason.
came out.
Okay. Desdin!
I'll look him up and down, and do I notice the cuts?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, he's still bleeding from various ones. Like it's just he's got some blood all over him.
I go to give him a hug, still bleeding.
I take the hug and get blood all over my robe.
Oh, it's adorable.
New robes.
Both of you have ruined your brand new clothing from the Duke. That's really nice. I like that.
And then I ask him what happened.
Oh, I ran into a couple of people. Yeah, it's all right. It's all good. I got some money if you want a drink.
Oh, no, thank you.
More for me. And then I'll head right on in.
Sure, yeah.
I'll follow him in.
So you guys walk down the stairs, seeing this shithole for what it is. It's been a little bit of time. The commoner, the miners that have been sitting at the the bar, so a little bit more drunk. Jonathan turns around and goes, "Aye, the monk's back, and he brought a friend." And then all the commoners go, "Hey!" And so Jonathan like gestures. He's like, "Come on!" He's like pulling you up to the bar. He goes, "Molly, another round." And Molly just shakes her head and just starts pouring these shots down the line.
I'll slide mine to McSwiggins so you can have this.
Bless you, my boy.
And Jonathan looks over at you and he says, "New one to the party has to pay."
All right.
Okay. So Molly looks at you expectantly.
How much?
She's like holding the thing above your glass, looking at you.
How much?
Do you have like copper pieces, or do you have like each of these shots, because they are the literal bottom barrel, are like a copper a piece?
How many shots?
You paid for like 8.
There we go. Here's 8 copper.
That's a fair deal.
Yeah.
Boom.
So you give her 8 copper, and she goes, nods, and then pours your glasses and continues down the bar.
I toss her one more,
and she goes, "Thank you kindly, my lord." And she kind of pockets that one up in her bustier area, rather than putting the other ones in the coffers. And she goes and helps one of the serving girls with one of her trays. And yeah. So Jonathan goes, "To the new guy!" And they all
to
drink.
me.
There you go. Yeah.
I'm with my people.
You are now. The same group that you saw earlier, Desdin, is still there. They're drinking much more quietly than the commoners. Each of the company groups they're pretty sequestered, definitely silent and away from each other. But it seems that someone has joined the elf that was sitting in the corner that was hooded. Much finer clothes. Definitely doesn't look like they belong down here. Not wearing a hood, but I just dropped my pencil. I'm sorry. Wearing a hood, but not doing their best to conceal their face. They're middle-aged male, wearing these like fine red silks. Definitely not something that like it stands out. They've tried to put a cloak on over it, a dark one, but the cloak itself is made of a finer material than anyone down here could afford. From what you've seen walking around the streets, not a rich area. It's pretty much the slums here. So it's an interesting point that there is the elf that was in the corner, still hood drawn, is now conversing quietly with this gentleman.
Okay, I'll kind of keep my eye on him, not like stare at him, but glance every once in a while.
Yeah, sure.
Is that the same one that was in there when I came in this morning?
No, there was not. There was
somebody with a hood in the corner.
Yeah, there was, because he asked about him.
Different guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It was last session. No.
Okay. It was actually a different person.
Huh.
Yeah,
Spooky
different cloak,
hood.
different everything. This seems to be an interesting place full of interesting people.
Speaking of interesting people, do I notice my elven lady friend around the room?
Make a perception check.
While he does
What?
that, I'll be right back. I need to grab a charging cable for my laptop.
Okay.
Make a perception check.
Oh.
All you see is the next glass in front of you, and your new friends
that as well.
down the bar.
So love for McSwiggins.
And then Jonathan looks at you and he goes, "Dwarf, another round for the boys."
Another round for the boys.
And everyone goes, "Hey!" And Molly just shakes her head and just she uncorks another bottle and she goes, "I don't know how you guys drink this shit," and just starts pouring it down the line. Yeah, there you go.
That's my last 9 copper pieces because I tip her another one.
And then she goes, "Lord, you can stay as long as you like. You keep tipping like that." She goes, "I'm married though. Don't make eyes." And just like kind of goes away. But kind of with a spring in her step, knowing that you're looking.
Give
Anyway.
them finger guns.
Yeah.
Oh, God, what did I come
Yeah,
back
so
to?
they all take their drink and whatever. And so what would you like to do in the bar here, if anything?
I'm watching McSwiggins have a blast, and it's
so
entertaining. It's entertaining me.
As all this.
It's been a while, or it's been never since I've seen this kind of.
Yeah, it's true. It's been
debauchery.
you've been on the road for maybe like a year or two. It's been a while since you've partaken in any form of anyone else's debauchery. Even it's you've led a very lonely life up till now. So at least the last couple of years.
Just like in real life.
Yeah. Oh, my heart. My heart. Come on, man. Don't do this to me.
As all this nonsense is happening kind of in between me hanging out with the common folk, I turn to Desdin and I just kind of like break away for a little bit. I'm just like,
Sure.
You seen the others?
No, I just say no.
Oh, more for me. Then I go back to hanging out with the boys.
Sure. You continue.
Logistical question for you, Joel.
Yes.
How easy would it be to break a gold piece here?
You want to toss her a gold?
You can pay for the rest of the night.
You can toss her a gold.
Can I ask an out of character, like, how does the currency break down?
So there's 10 copper to 1 silver, and then 10 silver to 1 gold. So it's 100 copper to 1 gold.
Okay.
And then there's 10 gold to 1 platinum piece.
Got it. Okay. So it's 10.
Yeah, it's pretty easy breakdown.
Yeah. Nice and simple. All right.
Yep.
Just wondering.
Yeah. So do you continue drinking with these guys?
I sure do, but I highly insist that my good friend here get the next round.
He's him and his boys are pretty tanked at this point. He looks at you and goes, "I noticed that bag. There's gold in there. Just toss her a gold."
What's your name, lad?
It's Jonathan. Met your friend out there. Led him to the bar. We had a drink together. Monk, that drink. Awesome.
Jonathan, just for you. And then I turn to the barkeep and toss her a gold.
Molly looks in the air, sees it, snatches it, and says, "I wouldn't be tossing that around here. Things will get a little wild. Seeing gold around, it's not common down here." She goes, "What did you want?"
For things to get wild.
She goes, "Aye." She pockets it, and she rummages around under the bar, and then she pulls out a bottle, and 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 a bottle. Different bottle than the one you had previously. And she says, "It's all yours. This pays for that night, or this night." And there's just like 12 bottles of alcohol on the table.
I immediately grab one and fill my flask with it.
Sure.
And then
Jonathan looks at you and goes, "Friend?"
And then I hand him the rest of it, and I go, or no, I grab another one off the thing, and I go,
Uh-huh.
"Friend."
And he looks down and he goes, All the boys?
All the boys.
And they all go, "Ah! Dwarf, 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 dwarf."
And I join in it. Dwarf.
The bottles popping at this point, and they're downing some shit. Slightly better shit than what you had paid for before, but still just not good. It's gonna get weird. So you guys drink for a while. Desdin, are you still just observing and
I'm
looking around the
watching.
room and stuff? Sure. So you notice that the man that was talking to the elf has left. The elf has stayed, lit a pipe, and is quietly smoking, and then about 15 minutes later also leaves. A couple of the company men leave, and some more come in. It's different company, and a couple leave, and a couple come in from the other side. And it's a steady in and out from the tables behind you guys. But the boys at the bar seem to be pretty entrenched in what they've just gotten paid for. They are falling apart. It is these humans don't have the same type of constitution that a dwarf does. Some of them are
Years
starting to
of
pass out
alcoholism.
at the they're starting to pass out at the counter. And it's the night is progressing pretty quickly here if you guys keep drinking, and I guess you're talking to them, I don't know what you're telling them, but you're talking to them.
I'm telling them about the twig blights.
Tell them about the twig blight. They the ones that aren't passed out are sitting with rapt attention, just like, oh, and then what happened?
And I just recount the entire tale, and maybe I throw in and your boys ever seen a gnome fly?
No. And they look around. No.
Well, if you
Gnomes can
toss
fly.
him hard enough, he flies right at the enemy.
Ah! They all just burst out laughing drunkenly, drink flying in the air. Yeah. Disturbing a couple of the patrons behind them, but they're just looking at and they get back to their drinks. Yeah. It seems an arm wrestling contest has started up in the corner. Some of the company men have started challenging each other to arm wrestling because they've started to get pretty snookered up too. At a copper apiece for strong drink, it doesn't take long for a man to get drunk in this bar. So there's also a guy who's kind of pulled out a lute and he started strumming it over in the corner near one of the fireplaces. It's decent for this type of establishment. Nothing too crazy. He's singing tales of heroes long past and of chosen of aspects and long lost wars and things like that. And you and the boys are cracking cold ones, man.
Cold. So as everybody keeps celebrating, more and more people pass out. I guess I notice how much time has passed, and I'm like, I look at Desdin and I'm like, probably go find the short one. Just, because it's his city, doesn't mean he's not gonna find some sort of trouble.
Okay. I'll just say okay.
Then guess is Jonathan still conscious?
The boys are dropping like flies at this point.
I'll go over to them and kind of just tap them lightly on the shoulders and just be like, boys, enjoy the rest of your night. And then I'll
John looks up and goes, "Dwarf."
Human.
And then some of them on the bar go, "Dwarf." And Molly looks at you and goes, "And look at the gold cost them getting home too. Bastards." She starts grabbing bottles away from them. Jonathan goes, "No," kind of cradles it while he's passed out at the bar.
I'll take one of the bottles with me too.
Yeah, sure.
And I'll just say, remember this, boys, as the night that you partied with McSwiggins.
Jonathan, in his stupid state, says, McSwiggins? McSwiggins. McSwiggins! And then he takes another drink and just falls backwards off his stool, crashes to the ground. No one moves to help him. Molly just leans over, looks, and goes, gets back to cleaning.
I'm just going to quickly grab a water. I'll be 1 sec.
Yeah, man.
All
You're
right.
just about to get to him, too. I can't believe it.
That motherfucker.
I know. He's just going to leave right now.
This guy.
Get into his. Actually, it's 9:17. We can go ahead and take another short break. We'll head.
Oh shit.
We'll go to 10:30 tonight. Because I had technical stuff. So we'll be back in 3. And until then, welcome back. Let's get started. Part 3 of DieFall episode 8, which is still mind blowing to me that we've even gotten this far.
We're alive.
Mostly.
What do you mean?
Mostly.
Oh, yes.
So we left off with Desdin and McSwiggins essentially going to try to go find Ignas. So we'll cut to Ignas. Ignas is heading back to his humble, quote unquote, abode, the large marble mansion that is his home. Humble. Just like him, as humble as he is. So he what are you doing, Ignas? What are you doing? Kind of just walking back to the house.
Well, I already did my shopping. Can't offload most of the stuff we took. Yeah, I mean, I figured just go back home. Yeah.
Okay.
That's my dad for money, but I don't think he'd be willing to give it to me.
Sure. So you walk up to the gate. The guards there notice you and recognize you and bow deeply and allow you inside. You go to the main entrance, and I guess you walk inside. It's quiet. The halls are mostly empty. Every once in a while, you see one of the servants move from one room to the other.
Well, one thing I did want to do is go back to my room and just check everything else that we got from the Golden Eagles and just see what else is marked, including the coinage.
Sure. As you make your way back to the room, you see Earl Reist walk out of your father's study and close the door quietly, and then he turns and he says, Ignas, I needed to talk to you anyway. Do you have some time?
Oh, certainly.
Good,
What's
good.
this about?
He points to the door and then makes a shush, shushing motion, and then he kind of just gestures you to follow him.
All right, I'll follow him in.
So he wanders down the far eastern wing towards one of the libraries down on that end. It's a small study, and he walks in and sits down in one of the chairs, basically across a chess table, and then there's another chair on the other side, and then there's a drink stand over to one side. There's a bunch of books that surround the area, and there's a small brazier lit that just gives off just enough light to be able to see each other while you're in this room. He kind of just gestures over to the other chair. He says, "Please, there's drinks if you need them, but maybe just a quick discussion about you and your companions in your journey."
I'll have a seat. Anything? What's the word? Anything troubling you?
Well, the defense of this city is definitely one thing that's been on my mind. And he kind of chuckles a little bit. It's getting bad, Ignas. It's getting bad. The northern mines are falling quickly. We'll be falling back to our inner defenses in the tunnels soon. Our overland defenses have never been that good, but we will see trouble soon. What I wanted to know from you is, was there anything else on the way here that you ran into? Is there anything else I need to know about defending the southern border?
Before I tell you anything, I would have to swear you to secrecy, even from my father.
He looks at you and says, "Kept that secret of yours in your tinkering shop for years now. You really think I'm going to go tell him? I know how he gets."
Well, I have to be sure.
"Of course. But please,
So,
for the sake of the city and my sanity, help me.
Okay.
What did you see? What kept you? I want you to know, we didn't get a chance to say this earlier. Commander Belfast was here 4 days before you. 4 days, taking the overland route. Going through my tunnels, my Golden Eagle's tunnels, it should have only taken you 2 days to arrive here. What happened?"
there was... I'm not sure how to describe it. Presence, demon, spirit, creature, something. We first encountered it when we found a group of goblins. Most of them had been killed. One was standing over them with a knife. We killed that one before knowing what was going on. This presence announced itself, and you do swear not to repeat any of this to my father.
Of course.
It said that its brother had a hand in riling up the orcs and goblins. I never got a name.
Brother. Interesting. An entity. What did it look like?
We never saw... I don't think we ever actually saw the entity's true face. It took the shape of a goblin, or at least it took the form of one, or it was controlling one. I'm not quite sure. Using it as an avatar, perhaps. But...
Powerful magic, that.
True, very true. But the part that concerned me most was after the encounter, we were given a boon of an answer to a single question. I asked it, and if I get the wording wrong, it's because I don't really remember. Who was responsible for the orcs and goblins? It said, my father.
Responsible for them, their existence?
Responsible for them moving to the south. I can't remember the exact question, so I'm kind of trying my best.
The answer you got, because I would assume this is something that Ignis would choose to remember since it's about his family.
Yeah, I can't remember the wording.
You asked whose fault is it that the Greyskins have banded together?
Okay.
The answer was your father, your father's father, your father's father, and his father before him.
Oh, okay. Well, that's all right. All right. So yeah, we asked who was responsible for the orcs and goblins banding together, and it was apparently my father, and his father, and their fathers before them, my entire family. So, if you wouldn't mind, I'd like to ask you a question.
Sure. What is it?
Know why my family might have caused the orcs and goblins to band together and attack us.
He shakes his head a little bit and he looks at you and he goes, "You know as well as I that this city was built on the back of slaves and built on the backs of those Greyskins. Eventually, over time, of course, they don't take too kindly to it, especially the ones in the mines. The servants you have here are well taken care of, but in the rest of this city, that is not the case. Some of these companies have misused the tools that have been given to them through the years."
Well, it seems that we have a reason, and the instigator is the brother or sibling, companion, whatever you might want to call it, of this presence that we encountered. I would have asked for the name, but I thought it would be more prudent to find out what had caused the current troubles.
Well, you're not wrong, and neither is the entity. Your family was the first to employ such tactics. Over time, it's spread throughout this city. It's the reason it exists. But slaves do escape. Servants do flee. And some have decided to band together. And under one form or another, they have called all of the free tribes together as well.
They might be following a ruler, or not a ruler, a leader that is being aided by some malevolent force. The presence that we encountered, it had inhabited the body of a goblin, and no matter what we did to it, the body wouldn't die.
There have been rumors that this king in the spine is a chosen of an aspect, though I suspect if that were the case, this city would have already fallen. I was alive for many of the chosen throughout the eternity of this world. They do not move slowly, and they leave much death in their wake. Some of them are more tactful, but the rumor says it's conquest, and he has never been one for subtlety. I don't believe he's an aspect, though it doesn't mean he's not being aided by one. There's still yet to be seen. We know now that he's been aided by an orc shaman. Don't have a name just yet, but your friend Vathan was actually requested to go track him with Belfast, where he's been for the last couple days, if you cared to know. Hopefully their journey is successful and they've found where that is. We will have to send a team there to try and eradicate that force.
I have a feeling I'll be one of those on that team. Well,
I don't believe your father would like that.
Oh, I feel like my father would be just as happy with me stuck on the other end of an orc's sword. Then he wouldn't have to worry about me embarrassing him anymore.
You're still the heir to the throne.
Oh, I'm sure he could find himself another heir and a mistress.
Maybe, but I don't think he wants to take that chance.
Maybe
we will
you're
see.
Right, but
we will see.
Anyway, you know as much as I do about what's going on now and why we were so delayed, although I think it's in part because, admittedly, I'm not as well versed in traveling outdoors, and neither were my companions, for the most part.
I feel that the elf should have been at least able to get you to the caverns easy enough. But
we don't talk about that.
Let's just say I've had to be a bit more observant of my surroundings since
he kind of grins at you and says, "Wisdom does come through traveling. Hopefully you've learned to pick up some tools of the adventuring trade. I did quite a bit of adventuring in my younger days. He kind of glances down to the longsword at his side. Traded in my armor and other sword for a more dignified look, though I always keep them close to my heart."
Well, perhaps if I survive this little expedition I'm to go on, you can teach me a few tricks.
We'll see about the expedition. The other reason I wanted to talk to you was there will be issues with the Opal Daggers and with Hida von Rolls. She will be out for your blood and the blood of your friends if she does not get her justice.
Well, she can get in line.
She is much more powerful than anything else that you've had to deal with at this point. Your father will protect you, as will I. That's why you will be under my care, and we will likely just get you out of the city as fast as possible. but we must wait another day. Vathan has not returned with the sparrows, and I wait their report. We need that report, if they are alive. They are due back tomorrow morning.
All right. Will there be anything else?
Pour me a glass of that nice scotch your father always gets.
You got it. I'll pour him a glass and, one for myself just to be nice.
Yeah. He takes the glass and nods, and he kind of says, I think I'll sit here for a while and think a bit. And he starts moving some of the chess pieces around in thought and taking sips of this scotch, and he says, thank you for speaking with me. It's been too long, my young friend.
Too long indeed. And I'll just take, I only poured myself just a little bit. So I'll just down the scotch and excuse myself.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Probably at this time, I would think that Desdin and McSwiggins have made their way back as well. You guys arrive at the house. You're recognized. The guards give you a little bit of a quizzical look at the blood, but they don't ask very many questions, and you've already been approved, and people know who you are at this point in time. So a quick conversation is enough to get you in.
Okay.
I immediately track down the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said,
and just I'm gonna have a piss.
Sure.
And like I said, I'm gonna just take some time and just just check and see what all of the things that we took are actually marked.
Okay, so you lay out all the stuff in front of you, right?
The things that I don't already know are marked.
Sure.
Where's he doing this?
In his
my
room, I assume?
Oh, okay.
Privacy, with the door locked.
Okay.
That's how you do it.
Make one. That's
Phrasing.
he's not wrong. Make.
Yes.
My God.
Oh wait, when you took observant, did you increase your intelligence or wisdom?
Wisdom.
By one.
Intelligence wouldn't have changed my bonus.
Okay. You have a +5 bonus to your passive perception.
Right, and I have a now I have a +1 permanent bonus to perception thanks to the fact that it's +1 bonus.
So okay, so it's 16, and investigation. Wow, your investigation goes to +5 too.
What? No.
You have a +5 bonus to your passive wisdom and passive
Oh,
intelligence scores.
Oh wow, yeah. Okay, so yeah.
So
Okay.
whenever we roll investigation, remember to add 5 to it.
Okay.
Okay, so that's from then on, and this is on you to remember. Okay.
Okay, just add 5 to every investigation. Got it. In fact, I'm gonna write myself a note.
Does that say? Wait, hang on. Is it passive investigation? That doesn't make any sense.
I don't know.
Go ahead and write that note, and then I'm going to look at it.
All right,
Passive
note.
perception would make.
You have a +5 bonus to your passive perception. That makes sense. And
Yeah.
passive intelligence. Yeah, so it's just passive investigation. So it's not ones you roll on. It's just as you stand there. That's
Okay.
interesting. We don't really
He's
use passive
smart.
investigation, so we'll just keep it as passive perception. I tend to just lump the two together
All right.
and then have you roll investigation for things that need it.
All right.
Okay? So make one investigation roll, please.
Okay. Well, there you go.
19. Yeah. Okay. So you look at
Oops. There we go. There's my sheet.
the. What are you looking at? The blue quartz, the 2 obsidian.
Let's see. Silk bolts, the choker, anything that doesn't say marked in front of it. Starting
take a
from
look
the
at?
silk bolts.
Sure.
Yes, simply because I figured the scotch and the pony kegs we're not going to be selling anyway.
Okay.
So everything from the silk bolts down that doesn't say marked, I'm just going to investigate. Aside from the tents and torches, and the arrows, which I bought.
The silk itself has the mark of the Do you call a silk print like a weaver? I don't think they weave silk, do they? I'm trying to remember how that's made. Regardless, it's essentially the person that made it, right? So it
Okay,
has
so
that marking.
It's not Golden Eagle marked.
Not that you can tell, no.
Okay.
It just seems to have the marking of the creator. The silk choker trimmed with ermine. There's no discernible marking on it.
All right.
And neither the quartz or the obsidian are marked.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's actually all of them.
What about the coins?
The coins are just Erdrick seal stamped. So they have the flower of Erdrick on it.
Okay. Then they're
on
actually
one
valid.
side. On one side, and they have the face of your great grandfather on the other.
All right, then they're actually valid. I'll just add those to my total. So 16, 15.
Yep.
Cool. All right. That is a lot of silver.
Yeah, it's like 160 gold worth of silver. Yeah.
Yep, I have that written down.
All right. Sorry to interrupt, guys. Jim, you don't mind if I do a run a day? I'm just flagging a little bit, and I think it's just because at time 2:45. My character's not back yet, is he?
Sure. Well, I mean, so the way that this was going to end up was you would arrive back the next morning and give the report with Belfast on what you had seen, and then you would have the opportunity to take care of whatever you needed to in the city, and then you would likely leave the city with your friends, and you would lead them to where you were supposed to be going, if there was anything to go to.
Okay. Well, we are to start. Well, either start there, or I can do the city part if you want with you off camera another time.
Sure. I guess, yeah.
So it's only because I'm up in 4 hours on school. Make it.
Well, dude, why didn't you say that before?
No, I do this every week. I'm fine usually. We've
Oh
been
my
working a
God.
lot because of the hours. That's all.
Okay.
I didn't want to miss another one. It's been cool as well.
I mean, sure, we can. You can just wait till next week if you guys want to not. I mean, if you want to call it here. I don't. So the thing is, I don't want to introduce the next plot point without having everyone here.
Well, if everyone's all right, I mean, I know me and Jesse are off next week, so we can start a little bit earlier if that's easier. Then we can catch up. If you've got work as well potentially.
No, I'm off next week too.
Oh, so
I can try.
I don't think you.
Start
Yeah.
earlier.
How much earlier?
Yeah,
Because I could
how much?
what if it was like? What if
do-
it was like we've got 15 minutes to go? What if it were like 15, 20 minutes?
That'd be doable for me.
That should work out for me.
How's that for you, Joe?
Fine with me. I can do that. That's fine.
If there's no traffic, I usually get home an hour before we start. But if there is, I'm usually cutting it pretty close. But
Okay. So we'll settle on that then. Ignis has made his investigation.
I was gonna go hang out with Iggy.
I'm sorry,
Desdin,
guys. As I said, I'm going to.
Desdin and McSwiggins, you just arrived home, and Vathan is making his way back to the city, and that's where we'll end it. That's fine. So let's do some quick shout outs. Latana, you can go first, so you can get out of here if you need to. Where can the people find you?
Yeah, if just YouTube search Latana or Latana Army, then you'll see all my work on there. We're doing some Fortnite guides next week, so it's going to be my new things for a week, and see how we get on with that. So make sure you check it out.
Cool. Rob?
Me? Well, I am 1/3 at this point. I don't really know, but I am part of Bonus Stage Heroes, which is my channel on YouTube, and I believe, if all goes according to plan, tomorrow I'm going to start streaming on Twitch at twitch.tv/bonus_stage_Rob. So
Nice.
if you follow me on Twitter at that neat little @ on screen, I'm sure you'll hear about it because I don't shut up. So
Cool. Rel?
Yeah, you can find my YouTube channel at youtube.com/relplays. Can find me on Twitter at Rel Let's Play or on Twitch, twitch.tv/relplays.
Cool. And Couch.
You can find me at youtube.com/TheCouchBum, where I upload all of these streams, all the other streams I do. And I do stream to Twitch at twitch.tv/TheCouchBum. You can also follow me on Twitter at TheCouchBumJ. And I do want to mention that this weekend I'm going to be doing a GoFundMe stream.
Oh, yeah.
On Twitch. And that's to raise money for my GoFundMe campaign so that I can pay for a lawyer and court fees to restore my joint custody for my children. And it's going to be a 24-hour stream. It's been voted on. I'm going to be playing Dark Souls. And the goal is to finish Dark Souls in 24 hours.
Mother of God.
Good luck, man.
Oh,
Good luck.
And,
everybody go to that stream and donate.
Yes, do it.
Yeah,
I will be there. I have donated already. It's a good cause.
Me
Thank you
also
so
as
much.
well. And I will be there.
Yep. So that was good.
Thank you so much, guys.
So yeah, good show. Thanks, guys. And until next time. Later.